you start with the wrap in the back.
Well, I'm not
And
afraid.
it doesn't have to be exactly even, but just make sure your ends are even in the front when you start in the
What I was
back.
trying to do, I went to my brother. He did not hold back.
So you come around to the front, and this is your first step. You're just going to make one knot, like if you were tying your shoe, just one knot.
And we don't respect the back.
And you adjust it, you know, if you need it tighter or a little bit loose. I will recommend that you do loosen it sometime if it feels a little too tight, because by the end of the day, or before the end of the day, you're going to have a headache. It is real. And also, it is good to wear some sort of cap or a stocking cap underneath, because it protects your edges, protects your hair, because if you are wrapping every day, it can wear on your edges or on your hair. So then we did one more knot. So to bring you to where we're at now, we started in the back. We made sure that we had our ends in the front. We did 2 knots. And make sure that your second knot isn't too tight as well, because you're going to use that later on in the video. Okay, now I'm twisting the ends because that's going to give it a little bit of more structure, or height if you want to say. Kind of give it a rouged look, like a flower. And I'm tucking my ends into that second knot. So that's why I had you leave that knot loose, so that you'd be able to fit the ends in there. It looks a little funky now, but don't worry. It's going to come together at the end. And with the second side, you do the same thing. You're going to twist it all the way down to the end, and you're going to tuck that end of that side into the same knot again. And you kind of adjust your knot. You know, you can turn it to the side. You know, if you want it directly in the center of your head, or to the left or to the right, you make those adjustments. And what I'm doing here now is just pulling out what we twisted. So that twist turns into, you know, it kind of looks like a flower. It bruises out. And all you're doing is tucking and pulling and readjusting however you want, you know, the top part to be your piece at the top, which always comes out different. Don't try to get it perfect or exactly the same. You know, as you see on these tutorials, sometimes you try to get it exactly the same, but everybody's, you know, hands work differently, so it comes out different as long as you're comfortable with it. So with this particular wrap, that's if you want to say the most tedious part, is just, you know, at the end, doing your little fine tuning, making sure that you've got this piece tucked and that piece pulled out. And I'm going to make sure that the top of it comes down, so your edges are not supposed to show traditionally, though you can have your edges showing, but traditionally with the African head wraps, they don't have any of the hair showing. And in the back, you'll see there's a little bit of loose fabric. You just pull that up. I like to have a little ripple in it, if you want to say. On the sides, you can see the pleats or the rippling of the fabric, and I just tuck it in the top in that same knot that you did. So everything pretty much gets tucked into that knot. So you want to make sure it's loose enough but still tight, so it doesn't slide around on your head. There you have it. I believe that was 4 steps maybe, and then the 5th step is just making sure that you like the way it looks on the top, or if you want to turn it to the side. I think she was happy with it. The second one, the name I guess I would call it was the 1800s, or how do you call it? 1800s? A colonial. I think that's what they call it. Oh. This is the second wrap, and this is how they traditionally wore it back in the 1800s, during the colonial times. So we started in the front, so the ends are in the back, and all you do is alternate, switch the sides in your hand. So in the back, you're going to cross them. There you go. And then you bring the two ends to the front, and depending on how long your fabric is, you can tie 2 knots or 1. So I just tied 1 knot, and then I twisted it and tucked it into those twists that I did from the back to the front. And mind you, back then in the 1800s, during the colonial times, the fabrics were not as elaborate like this at all. They were actually just rags from anywhere, the kitchen, a potato sack. I've heard they use potato sacks also. So this is how they wanted us to wrap our hair. I believe they called it a tignon. It comes from Louisiana or New Orleans, and that was a way that they had us wrap our hair. But we took what they wanted to be bad and turned it around and actually made it good. We rock it. Whatever we rock is fly.